Holy moly, it's 8:02. Sorry. I was getting some last minute things done. How is everybody doing tonight? Very excited to be with you. Got, unfortunately, though, a couple of kind of somber things to talk about to get the live stream started tonight. First being no Lisa tonight. She has had not the best last couple of weeks. And you know what? It was just a bad night for her. And I was like, I'm doing the stream by myself. And she didn't put up a fight because it's been brutal the last couple of weeks for her. She's not sick or anything. Everything's fine. It's, cat rescue stuff that has not been the most pleasant. Even, as recently as like an hour and a half ago, like it's been not the most pleasant of a couple of weeks. So that's that. So no Lisa tonight. She might be in the chat. In fact, I would kind of expect that she would be. I'm not expecting her. I'm just saying I expect she probably would. You know what I mean? Who knows? Hopefully she'll be in there and she'll say hi to everybody. And there you go. No, Lisa, I'm out. I don't blame you, Kev, because who wants to hang out with just me? I'll tell you who wants to hang out with just me. People who have commented on the video about this koi and maybe want to get it given to them tonight on the stream. That's who might hang out with us. Yes, this is going to be given away tonight. Rack already got his, and he sent me a little video of unboxing it. He was very happy with it. This one could be yours. If you want to know how this one could be yours, go to the video with this on the thumbnail. Actually, it's the other one, but it looks just like this. 2 weeks ago, the video that I put up on a Sunday, where I make these in the video, go on that and comment. That's all you got to do. And at some point tonight, I will do the drawing and I'll have a random comment picker select a winner from that video's comment section. So that's all you got to do. And this could be yours. Valued at $559,000 by a genuine 3D print and paint appraiser. It's true. $559,000 could be yours. With a contract stipulating that you are not allowed to sell it. I'm joking. No, it's probably worth about 50 cents, but I'll send it to you for free. So there you go. Now, I said a couple of somber things, and I do want to say this because get the sad stuff over with right off the bat, right? Lisa not here. And then there is Vibes Aquatics. I don't know if everybody that's with us here tonight knows about the Vibes Aquatics situation. I do not recall, because I'm a horrible person, which day it was, but Vibes Aquatics passed away last week. I believe it was Friday, maybe Saturday. I don't know. It was the day after Kyle Busch. I know that because I remember saying to Lisa when we found out about Kyle Busch, I said, you know what? This is just more reason to appreciate every single day we have, because you never know when it's going to be the last. And then Vibes happened and it was like, wow. And I ended up saying it to her again 2 days in a row. You never know what day is going to be your last. And I'm pretty sure he was like 34, 35. Absolutely tragic. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the circumstances surrounding it. It was my understanding, not like a suspicious thing or anything like that. But I don't know. I don't know anything about the circumstances. But what I do know, was it food poisoning? I had heard something about that. But man, that must have been some poisoned food. And I don't mean intention. You know what I'm saying? I've heard about people having it come out of both ends after food poisoning, but uh, death? Wow. That, yeah, that's terrible. So I I didn't really know Eddie. In fact, I didn't even know he went by Eddie until this happened. I had always called him Elijah because that's his name, but he went by Eddie. I didn't know that. Shame on me for not knowing that. But I did have several interactions with him, and I hung out with him one time. But the best thing, my fondest memories, were the first time that I met him, which was at an Aquashella. I mean, listen, I'm guilty of just being too honest sometimes. I had no clue who he was when I met him. This would have been like probably 2021, probably. And he came up to me at an Aquashella and he introduced himself by giving me a gift. And this is all actually documented on live streams. Everything I'm telling you is a fact. He gave me a bag of coffee, which I then, when I went home a couple days later, the next day brewed a pot of it and didn't stop brewing pots of it until it was gone because it was the best coffee I'd ever had. And I was kind of embarrassed when he gave it to me because I didn't know him, and I'm trying not to sneeze, folks. I didn't know him and I didn't know the brand. I was not familiar with this brand of coffee. And so I said, "Oh, is this yours? Like, is this your company?" And I'll never forget the look on his face. He just goes, "Well, no, I just think it's really good and I wanted to get you to try it." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I did that. And it was, again, best coffee I've ever had. A Taste of San Antonio is the brand. And it became a thing from that point on. Every time I saw him, he gave me a bag of that coffee. And when I talked about it on my live streams that I was on blood pressure medication and I had to switch to decaf, he brought me decaf. It was amazing. In fact, I still have a little bit of one bag, which I'm sure is very much stale by now, in my cupboard as we speak. It's still there. And I pulled it out the other day and I showed it to Lisa and I said, "Wow, this was a gift from Vibes." So yeah. And then, I again, trying not to sneeze, I'm sorry. He did that like 3 or 4 Aquashellas brought me this coffee. It might have only been 2, but I think it was 3 or 4. And I wanted to repay that. And so we were there, hanging out with the Addams family, of course. And we were going to go to a barbecue joint for lunch. And we were going to walk there. And I said, "Vibes, come on." And we took him to lunch and I bought his lunch, which is, it's barbecue. It's expensive. So that's how I repaid him for the coffee. Genuinely good dude. When we were sitting there at lunch, it was me and Vibes, Lisa, Jason, Joanna, and Carrie, Science Gal. We're sitting there, and then, of course, Jason and I are running our mouths because we both love the sound of each other's voice, or our own voices. And Vibes was just being really quiet. And I turned to him. He was sitting next to me. I turned to him. I said, "What you so quiet for? Why are you just sitting there?" And he said, "I just like listening to y'all talk." And I was like, did we just become best friends? No, it was fun. Vibes was a good dude, and he will be missed for sure. Felt horrible about that when I heard it. I mean, come on. It's sad when anybody dies, but 34, seriously? Like, Lisa and I have a kid almost that age. I mean, I can't stand it. Jason, your clone. They're cloning them real good these days because boy, did he turn out to be a better version than me. Goodness gracious. With the degrees and with the glorious beard and he's in shape, unlike me. Like, man, he got the better end of that deal. But yep, Vibes Aquatics, rest in peace, brother. We will miss you. That's all I have to say about that because that always gets very weird when you don't know what to say. It's almost like you and Jason to do a podcast. Yeah, we thought about that. We've bounced the idea around a little bit. Who knows if it'll actually ever happen? But there it is. Curtis Crump's on top of it. Round is a shape. Don't cut yourself short. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I do have a shape to me. That's for sure. 34 is too young. I know it. Man. Yes, I'm drinking a real Coke. It's Friday night. Partying. What do you want from me? My dad died when he was 54. And I was like, man, that's too young. I've been saying that for almost 30 years now. 34 though. Whew. Especially when you think about, like, you hear about people were in a horrible accident or something like that, people that are younger, but food poisoning, like that's just, whew, that's rough. But anyway, listen, y'all, to lighten the mood up here a little bit, show's going to be driven by you. And I'm saying that right now so that and that you cannot yell at me if things don't go the way you would like them to, which has happened the last time we were streaming. Yes, just that one guy. We still talk about that to this day. You've heard it before, haven't you? You've heard YouTubers say there can be 1,000 positive comments and the one negative one is the only one that you see. It is so true. So I'm still talking about that jerk from 2 weeks ago. But again, it's up to you where this live stream goes tonight. And so there you go. What did they eat? I don't know. I know he went to a wedding. What was it, in like Idaho or Iowa? Something like that. For I believe one of his siblings, like his sister or something. And that's where it happened. That's quite literally all I know. And I know that it's tragic and it's very, very sad. He was a good dude. That's the best that I could say about him. And if you've ever met him, you know that I'm right. He was a good guy. I guess I'm glad I don't get comments or views or followers. And second thought, I'm going to go cry. When comments are overwhelmingly positive, I would imagine if you have a YouTube channel that you're making the kind of videos that people would comment negatively on, then it's probably a bigger thing. But my channel, the comments are 99.9% positive and they're very supportive and it is an amazing thing. But I don't read the comments because of that 0.01%. And it's not that I feel personally offended. It's more, why? Why are you wasting your time on this? But anyway, I was a guest on his live stream once. I never was, but I think he streamed at the same time as me for a long time. Didn't he stream on Thursday nights? And so it would have kind of been difficult for me to be a guest on there. But then we switched to Fridays, and so that's that. And on that note, Jason and I were talking about this just the other day. How do we all feel about live streams on Friday nights? Because I'm about to tell you something. I don't think many people like it. And I'd be curious to know if going back to Thursdays would be better. Jason and I talked about it, and then Lisa and I talked about it, and we never really came up to any conclusion. But I'd be interested to hear what y'all think, because, this Friday night thing sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. What you want me to lie to you? I'm not going to do it. The reason why we switched to Friday nights was because we were going to be doing the member streams afterwards. That just turned out to be, the member streams were a blast, but it was too much for all one night. And not only that, but nobody wanted to come on with us anymore. And, so since we're not doing that now, it would be easy to switch back to Thursdays, but I don't know how everybody would feel about that. Let's talk about Superman to make him mad. That ain't going to make me mad. It would make that guy mad. That might be the one you're talking about. The Tank Talk podcast needs to have a live stream one time. Whatever time you go, I will follow. So, Jason and I have talked about that. We said, what if we did because Jason and I, we sit one day a month and we block out the entire day and we record all day. And, so we do like a month, sometimes 5 weeks worth of live streams, or not live streams, podcasts. And we thought about that. Like, what if we did one live and then recorded the other 3? And then it's like, well, but then we would probably want to do that last and we're tired by then. I don't know if y'all watch the live stream. It doesn't show up with Jason as much as it does me. About every 4 weeks, you watch an episode of the Tank Talk podcast and you'll see me and I'm just kind of like, yeah, because it's the end of the day and it's been a long day and I've been talking the whole day. And, Jason and I like to run our mouths between episodes too. And so it is literally an all day thing. And by the episode 4, I'm done. So it's like, well, we can't do that. We can't do it that way. So what if we did it in the reverse? And then I don't know. Logistically, I don't know how we would work it out. But, I'm not going to say what I was just about to say. We've talked about it. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all should do a live stream in person and ask if y'all can do it at Legacy Aquarium, and you can have Banshee as a guest. Bashi? I don't know that name. Bashi. Why did I read it Banshee? So I still love this idea, and I just don't know. So this is what Jason and I had originally planned. We're gonna meet up halfway between Chicago and North Carolina, halfway between Illinois and North Carolina, which would probably put us in like northern Tennessee. And we'll get an Airbnb and we'll just record podcasts the whole weekend and get like 2-3 months worth in, face to face. And it never happened, but we definitely talked about that. And I think it would be a better product, if I'm being honest with you. But then again, we wouldn't have aquariums behind us and all of this. We would just be sitting in some complete stranger's living room that we're renting. But I do think a conversation is better had face to face. Jason and I work well together on the podcast, and I don't think the podcast is harmed by us doing it remotely, but I just think it would be a little bit more of a natural conversation if we were face to face. Because if you look at it, The reason why Jason and I work so well together, we never planned this. It's just the way it kind of naturally works out. If you watch it, and if you don't know about this, you're not going to be able to watch it now without seeing it. But we basically say what we need to say, and then we stop talking. And when we stop talking, we know it's the other guys. The other guy knows, okay, now it's time for me to pick it up. And so very rarely do him and I talk over each other. If we were sitting face to face, we'd probably talk over each other a lot. And I think that'd be more fun. We did have a plan for one of the Aquashellas. We were going to do a bunch of interviews. Brett was going to come on. Cats Aquatics was going to come on. One of the Bureau brothers was going to come on. Like, we were going to do a bunch of interviews, and then I didn't end up going. So there's that. But I just clicked to the fact that both you and Brian Barczyk married Elisa. Yeah, that is true. It's another one. Brian was way too young, and I had just met him, and that made me sad because I was able to call him a friend when he passed, and that made me very sad. Nobody moves to Illinois. I know this. So anyway, again, I've been looking at the chat, y'all. I ain't seeing any questions. So when there's no questions, I just run my mouth. Do you know who the original Superman was when Superman first started back in the 1950s? I know you weren't born yet. I do know this because, oh man, Nick something. It's Nick something. And the reason why, are you talking about like Superman and the Mole Man? Is that what you're talking about? That, I know about that, but his name escapes me. What would you do with Superman's powers if you had it for 5 minutes? 5 minutes? It ain't even worth thinking about. 5 minutes. What you going to do in 5 minutes? Go around the world a couple times? Make time go in reverse a little bit? What was his name? Whip? Whip? Why did I just say the word whip? Nick? Come on. Nick Papa Giorgio? That's not his name. Are you being a rascal? No, listen. I do know one thing. But I don't know if it's going to show up when I sign into this. I do have a 3D model of Superman and the Mole Man. And the Mole Men. I don't think it's going to say his name on it, though. Why is this not working? I was going to look at my wish list. Oh, this is making me mad now. Okay, I can't find it. It doesn't matter. Has anybody put it in there yet? George Reeves was his name. Well, that's not really true, though. Just saying. You're right. George Reeves is the one that a lot of people acknowledge as the first Superman, but it's not true. Superman and the Mole Man was made before then. And that did not star George Reeves. Hey, y'all brought this up, so don't yell at me. Now, wait a damn minute. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Daggone it. See, I wasn't even born yet. So maybe George Reeves was in Superman and the Mole Man. There was a made-for-TV movie that is the one I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, you're right. Now, see, hold on. I got to go back because I want to make sure I acknowledge. Dan Durbin, you're right. I was wrong when I just said you were wrong. You were in fact right. But there was an actor that played Superman before George Reeves. And his name, Kirk Allen. Damn it. Why did I say Nick? Kirk, Nick, I guess they sound similar. And it was the movie Serial, Adam Man versus Superman. So, yeah. Okay. So I've never claimed to be a Superman historian when it comes to that stuff. I did watch the show, though, with George Reeves. I saw every episode of that show. Not when it was airing live. Come on. But I saw it in reruns, along with the Adam West Batman and all of that. Is that the one where they animated him flying? I believe it is. Yes. And see, Uncle Smiley put it in there after I looked it up. Thanks a lot. I think that is the one with Kirk Allen where when he would take off flying, he turned into a cartoon and then he landed and turned back into a person again. Any new fish coming to inventory? Just added 4 of them. Wednesday, Thursday, one of those 2 days. I'm constantly, I have to look it up because I don't know which ones are active now and which ones aren't. I don't want to spoil things, but there's definitely more coming. We've got quite a few that are in quarantine right now that are going to be made for sale in the coming weeks. But let me, just so that I can ensure, the Yellow Tux Endlers, the Loretto Tetras, Albino Congo Tetras, and Hillstream Loaches are the ones that were just added. We got plenty of all 4 of them too, by the way. So, yeah, get on that. And don't forget the tiger barbs too. The green tiger barbs. Don't forget about those. Somebody needs to buy them all. Because I'm still upset with you that you haven't bought those yet. I'm very offended that they haven't sold yet. Let me get back to this. Boy, I tell you, the appeal of getting a 3D printed fish is really working, huh? 120 people. Wow. I appreciate every single one of you. But you're talking to a guy that remembers what it feels like to have 800, 800 any given Thursday. Man, what have you all done to me? I have at the wrong spot now here. Okay. Start having me look up Superman stuff and I forget what website I'm on. I'm providing such amazing entertainment. I don't know why we wouldn't have 800 people in here. Plush Possum, what's the best way to grow my calico barbs fast? I need them to get some size before I add them to my 125. And the message is cut off here. I am sorry. Hang on. Let me just do it this way. By the way, I love them. All are thriving. They're fabulous. Well, the secret formula to growing any fish as fast as they can possibly be grown is to feed them very good foods, feed them multiple times per day, and do lots and lots and lots of water changes. I don't care what kind of fish you're keeping. They will grow faster under those circumstances. The problem is it sucks doing a lot of water changes. So it's tough. But that's why farms have like flow through systems, constant water changes, things like that, because it is just a fact. Clean water makes fish grow faster. It does. So, that's how you do it. You do a lot of work. And if I'm being honest with you, you probably won't really notice the difference in how fast they grow. So just go by the rule of keep them fed, keep the water clean. However much you can feed them and keep your water clean at the same time, that's how much you feed them. And they will indeed grow fast. Jason said in one of his podcasts that your favorite movie is the Barbie live action. Is there any truth to this? Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. And I don't know if you're going to like it. I have not seen that movie. Dang it. Lisa went and saw that movie in the theater. She dressed up as Barbie to go see it. Wore a wig and everything. And but went with my daughter. Not me. So I did not get to see that movie. Nor do I have plans to see it, although I have heard that it is a good movie. There's probably, I don't know, 300 movies in line before that one. That's the kind of movie I would just watch one day because I just happened upon it. And it's like, okay. Any thoughts of creating a 3D of John Kreese or Terry Silver? 100%. I just don't know if anybody's done those. Probably more likely John Kreese, but Terry Silver, even though he's probably got a better look with the ponytail and all of that, I haven't seen a model of any of those guys, either of those guys. But I would do it because boy, is that memories of my childhood. But again, probably a long list of projects I'd want to do before this, but I'd like to do them. Moving 980 miles across state lines with my house and a big shop with car stuff and 60 aquariums. What? You're moving the house and the shop? 980 miles? I don't believe you. Unless you got one of them. I was just going to try to make a stupid joke and it wasn't going to work. It was like one of those houses you can take apart. Never heard of one of those. So that was a joke that was just not going to work, but I figured it out before I even said it. You have a house full of stuff and a house and a shop and you're moving 980 miles and you have 60 aquariums. You ain't moving the shop and the house. I mean, if you lived in a mobile home, that would make sense. That's why they're called mobile. But a shop, I'd like to know how you're going to pull that off. Pecco sold me a Starfire Red Pearl Gourami as a glow tetra this week. Not a bad deal. That's funny. That is them not knowing what they have. You got a good deal on that one, I'm sure. Glowfish are expensive. But I like who played Barbie. Well, you know why you like her, Curtis? Because you are a heterosexual man. Because of course. That's a woman that would make a gay man go straight. I'm just saying. And I'm not disrespecting my beautiful wife. If she was sitting here across from me right now, she would be like, yep, you're right. So I'm just saying. Okay. I see it as less competition for me to win. Well, it's very true, but it is, Kaylin, I hope you've commented on the video. Y'all need to remember that. You don't get entered to win this amazing masterpiece of art. You don't get entered to win it unless you commented on that video. Simply being here tonight does not, you have to be here, but that doesn't enter you. You have to comment on that video. Do you see the extra care I put into this to put real sand? That's real sand. I know it's coming off on the bottom a little bit, but that's okay because You're not paying anything for it. So who cares? This is a real stick from my yard. That's a sycamore stick right there from a 200-year-old sycamore tree. Seriously, it's true. These are not real rocks, but daggone it if they don't look real the way I painted them. Watch that video. You see how I did it. But you got to comment on the video too, or you won't be entered to win. You have to comment and you have to be here. So I don't know why I pointed here. Like you have to be sitting in my lap because that would be weird. Biker at 3 feet. Well, that's just an interesting thing to say with no context. Just biker at 3 feet. Did I miss the comment before that or something? I don't know. Doesn't Joe usually win? He does. That guy, he won the last giveaway I did 3 times. And he won the one before that. So there does have to be a rule. Although I didn't say it in the video. So I don't know if people could like sue me, which Joe didn't care that happened. If you don't know the story, Joe Provenzano was the one that did the first 3D print and paint fish video that I did of the Oscar, which was my best one, by the way. I'm just saying, of the 3 different fish I've done so far, that was by far the best one. He won that one fair and square, which is great because Joe's always around and we love that guy. Then I went to give away on the live stream the arowana that I did, and the giveaway, the app chose Joe 3 times in a row. This happened live on the live stream. It was bizarre. And then finally on the 4th chance, or the 4th roll, we got somebody else, and the guy happened to live in North Carolina. So how high does the sycamore grow? Ours are really tall. I don't know, probably 60 feet. I don't know. They're really big and they're really wide. And they really piss me off because there's a reason why I was able to easily find those sticks to incorporate into those models, because they're everywhere. I go through lawnmower blades like you wouldn't believe, because for one, the soil out here is sand, and for two, there's sticks everywhere. And if it's super butt hot outside and the bugs are bad and I just want to get it done, I'll just run right over them. I'm just like, forget it. 60-inch Kubota can handle them. Sand, 150K. It's true. That is some, it's not, it's actually not. It's priceless. It's priceless sand. Oh, daggone it. The chat just skipped. I went to your shop to do some shopping. You don't say. I noticed that the Hygger filters, and that was a smart aleck comment, and I'm sorry. I was just trying to be funny. I noticed the Hygger filters and lights are gone, and you've pivoted to the aqua clears. Can you comment on the changes I have missed since COVID? Thanks. Yeah, certainly. We carry the aqua clears because they're the best. That's why. One of the best. Titles, aqua clears. But I'm a big fan of a lot of hang on the backs. The Aqua Filtra, I'm a big fan of. The Penguin Pro, I'm a big fan of. I like the Quiet Flow from AquaClear, or not AquaClear, Aqueon. But anyway, we stopped carrying Hygers when Hygger just became too difficult for us to deal with. It is not the product's fault. The product is great. The people just became too difficult for us to deal with when it came to warranty situations and stuff like that. And so it's not like their stuff broke all the time, but we would send somebody a light 6 months later. They would hit us up. Hey, the light's broke. I would hit up Hygger. We'd have to go through this whole thing. And I would just end up sending the customer another light and never get reimbursed for it. That kind of stuff. If it happens once in a while, like I ain't gonna lie to you. If somebody contacted me and said that one of their tidal filters broke, I would just handle that, because that's so extraordinarily rare that we ever get any problems with the titles. Beyond, hey, pull the impeller out, clean it off, put it back in. I bet you it'll start back up again. They do that and it works. You know, every hang on the back filter's that way. But if it's beyond that, if a pump needs to be replaced or something like that, I'm just like, this is so unusual. I'll just handle it. But with the Hygger lights, I mean, it happened more than we would have liked. It wasn't a regular thing, but it happened more than we liked. And it was never once a good experience dealing with them with the warranty. So I was like, if it's this bad for us, the retailer, I've sold 1,000 of these lights and they're jerking me around like this, I wonder what it must be like for the customer. So I was just like, we're not doing it anymore. That's the story. Having said that, I've used a lot of their lights. I have their lights running on 2 of my tanks as we speak, and they've never had any problems. I like their products. I just don't like that. Behind you, yours. So G-Bear, let me give you a little piece of advice. Don't just type 1 word or 3 words. You know, maybe take the time to put a little context. Then we don't have to have this back and forth. You know what I'm saying? No, that biker's not 3 feet. It's not even close. It's, talk about this fella right here. That's Crab. Well, the tank's top to bottom's 24 inches. You just saw him go vertical there, and he wasn't even touching that. Probably 16 to 18. That's what I'm going to guess. Haven't put a tape measure to him yet. Yeah, it's probably 18 inches. Look at him go. Watch. He's gonna nosedive again, and you'll be able to judge him up against the 24 inches. And he's not even close. I've had that fish for 5 years. And he was close to that size when we got him. They're notoriously slow growers, unless it's an ornate. I don't understand the science behind that, but ornates grow faster. They just do. So, but next time, just be like, that biker behind you looks like it's 3 feet instead of 3-foot biker. Maybe we'll have a little better understanding of what we're talking about here. I hope I'm not having internet problems tonight, but I might be. Would not surprise me. I believe you said in a video that the person had to be in the USA and not have won before. Oh! If I did, then good. Watch, Rack will come in and win. That would be so funny. No, Rack is too good of a person. He would be like, nope, not okay with that. You need to give that to somebody else. So, Rack Cross is one of the most genuinely beautiful people I've ever met in my life. And I'm being sincere when I say that. So I was thrilled to send him that. And I'd be thrilled if he won this one too. But that wouldn't be fair. I went to school with Joe Provenzano from K to 12th grade, but I think it's a different Joe. Yeah, and your dad plays golf in the PGA too, right? You're just a rascal that likes to make up stories. That's what you do. If my last name was Daly, I'd be telling everybody that my dad's John Daly too. Currently listening to the live stream as we cross the Mackinac Bridge, just to see if I win. Oh, man. Mackinac Bridge. I don't know where that is. It's from Pocahontas. I don't know what everybody's saying here tonight. Where's Goyle? Where's Lucius? Goyle is... Oh, he's behind my head. That's why you don't see him. right there. Did we name the new one Lucius? If not, what a no-brainer. Because, the one was Draco, which is perfect. Crab, Draco, Goyle. But if that is his name, and I think it's coming to me now. Like I remember we did talk about that. He does come out periodically. And I even saw the clown knife a few times the other day. But he's still in that hiding phase. And here's the thing. Lisa's do the same thing, although they're out a lot more. And when I had Draco, he was that way. Those ornates hide all the time until they're like a foot long. And then you can never get them to hide. I don't know. I mean, it's been my experience. And this one is number 4. I had the one from Furlough. Lisa has 2 of them. And then the one from you, Whip. So that makes 4 for me. And every single one of them's done it. I don't. Maybe they just don't like me and they just hide from me. I don't know. But I don't know. But I do need to know, did we talk about his name being Lucius? Because I love that. Clown knives hide their entire lives. Yeah, I know. Unless they get too big to hide, then they just face the corner. And of course, it's always the back corner. You have any breeding projects right now? We don't talk about that stuff in public. Yeah, we do. But it's not me. It's Lisa. She is breeding guppies like crazy and obviously snails. But and those are totally for profit. We will be selling those. She has had them for a while, and they finally have started breeding. And she's got fry from them that she's raising up now. And somebody, I don't recall who it was, but I got to be honest, it hurts my feelings a little bit that they haven't even emailed us about it. The way we do our fish when we ship fish, I make the bags. I put the water in the bags. Lisa takes the bags. She goes, pulls the fish, puts them in the bags, brings it back to me. And I, put the oxygen in them, seal them up, do that whole thing. Well, we were packing Monday or Tuesday, and she walked over with a bag of her guppies, Lisa's rainbow guppies. She bags the male and female individually because you don't want the male biting the females, nipping the fins and all of that. So she brings the female over, and she's like, oh, there's a fry in this one. I guess the customer's getting a bonus. So the customer got a free guppy fry. It was just a little teeny grain of rice. I was halfway expecting there to be an email. Hey, you sent me a free fish. But I didn't get it. Hurt my feelings. All right. Will you sell them? 100%. That is where the for-profit part came in. Caleb, I'm a smart aleck. You should know that about me. If I have the opportunity to crack a joke, guess what? I'm going to do it. And you set me up there because I just said for profit. That means for sale. But I don't know when they'll be for sale. I'll tell you when they'll be for sale. When she tells me they're for sale. That's when they'll be for sale. She'll tell me, okay, put them up on the site. And that's when I'll do it. All right, y'all ready to give this away? For me to part with this masterpiece? I liked the other one better, but I like this one. He's a special guy. No, I did not sign the bottom or anything weird. I don't care about all that. I wonder why the sand comes off the bottom, because maybe it's because this is the way I hold it. So anyway, listen. You got about a minute. If you haven't commented on that video yet, go do it. Because it's the only way you can win is if you have commented on that. And in the amount of time it takes me to open up my studio app, which I'm doing right now. Not studio app, but the studio website. And I am now clicking. I can't show y'all any of this because then you would see my revenue and analytics and all that. I don't feel like, no, not doing that. Click it to get the link. You would be shockingly unimpressed anyway, believe me when I tell you that. Okay, so now let me make sure there ain't nothing weird on the computer or nothing like that. Don't want to accidentally show. No, I'm just kidding. There's nothing. I only use this computer for live streaming, so all the weird stuff is in the house. Let me do this. Here we are. I'm going to move that. Uh-oh. Okay. No, that didn't do anything. All right. So, yeah, this is getting on my nerves. I need to be able to see what's going on here. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, I have... Okay, I'm going to go back because I did that earlier. So, this is Absordios. I don't know. I am pasting the link to that video. When I click start, you will see the video pop up. 107 comments. It's kind of embarrassing, if I'm being honest with you. Again, you're talking to a guy that used to get like thousands of comments on their videos. Now I'm giving away a piece of art and nobody cares. Nobody comments on it. Makes me sad. But what are you going to do? This is the world I live in. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I was like, no, I thought it picked a winner already. One winner. Substitutes. No, we'll just pick another one if it doesn't work out. Okay. So it is... I don't remember how this works. I just did this a few weeks ago. Oh, great. Looky there, right in the middle of your screen. Look who commented more than once. That's cheating, Joe. Maybe that's why he got picked so many times last time. That's cheating. You're a big fat cheater. That's 3 comments. 4. Joe, I'm mad at you now. There's Kalen Shepard down there at the bottom. All right, so it's officially too late. Anybody? It's too late. I am going to click start now. I don't know if it's going to automatically pick someone. I don't know what it's going to do, but we'll see. Yep, it's going to pick one. Here we go. It is counting down. I should have made it less. This is picking the winner, not me. So thank God it's not Joe Provenzano. Janet L dash lowercase s 2 1 2L. I don't know. Let's see if Janet is in the chat. And Janet, I'm going to need you to comment in the chat so that we know that you're here. Because the rule is you have to be here. If you are not, then I'll be doing it again. I'm going to give you about, we'll give you about a minute. Janet L S21. Why, oh my God. Do you know her or something? Whip. All right, Janet, we're waiting on you. Oh my God, what? A lion? What are we? Oh my God. Janet from Friends. Oh, okay. I get it now. All right. Janet looks like she might be a no-show. How long has it been? I know this is wildly entertaining for anybody watching. To the point where Janet's my wife. Sure. You know, Whip, I was just being nice. I just wasn't going to correct you. You know, I knew it all along. But she's the one that looks like Fran Drescher. I remember now, but okay, we're going to do it again. It's officially over. Janice. Yeah, Janet. Whip, you got me saying Janice now. Janet, you had your chance. It's over now. We're doing it again. Sorry about that. I mean, I'm not sorry. You're the one that got picked, but you weren't here. So the rules very clearly stipulated you have to be here to win. Okay. We are going to set this to 5 seconds. Ain't nobody got 10 seconds to wait around. That's just too much time. All right, we ready? Here we go. We're doing it again. Oh no. What is this? I don't want to become a member. Okay, is it going to let me do it again? Why would I pay $9 a month for something that's free? So anybody that wins other than Joe Provenzano has to be here tonight. Watch it be Joe again. Why did it get sent back to 10 seconds again? You got to pay $9 a month in order to get it to 5 seconds. Diana Roach. I feel like that's a name I've seen before. Or maybe just now. Diana Roach. It's time for you to comment in the chat so that we know you're here. And that way I know you're here. You're the winner. There she is. Yay. Now, Diana, just tell me you live in North Carolina. Make this that much sweeter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you live. I don't care. I will send it to you. Very, very happy for you. I hope you enjoy it. Email me at kgtropicals@gmail.com and send me your information and we will ship it out. Probably Monday. It's a slow time of year right now, so there shouldn't be any issue getting it shipped out on Monday. Mondays are normally like really, really tough for us, but it's summertime, so it's the slower time of year. So that's not an issue. So we'll get it. Should be able to get it shipped out on Monday, but either way, it will be on its way to you. And congratulations for winning. And don't put your information in the chat. Just send it to me by way of email. More Than Eager. Okay. More Than Eager with the $10 super chat. How you liking your jewel tank? Did you add additional filtering? I actually snagged a Rio 290 at Aquashella Dallas for a steal. Have since added an Eheim Pro Plus 4 600. I have been thrilled with the Jewel tank. I have not added any filtration to it, and it's still working perfectly fine. However, my fish are still, reasonably sized. There's the two filament barbs, the Mashir and the Geo, and a tiger shovel nose catfish, all in there. But they're still, at a reasonable size. So I would imagine we're probably going to end up adding a little bit more filtration in there. It's just going to have to be probably a Shark Pro is what I would add to it. And the only reason why is because there is no decor in the tank except for one piece of driftwood, kind of like this. So, why am I even, I don't have to worry about, plants getting blown around or anything. It's the filter being inside the tank is not going to interfere with the decor at all. And not only that, but I literally have that tank like that far off the wall. So I could probably put a canister in there. It would need to be probably one of the Seche canisters that has the flexible, smaller hoses to go back down. There is cutouts. I'm sure yours has it too. In mine, I've got the 450. It has the cutouts in the back for filter intakes and outputs, returns. So I would probably add a Mega Filtra to it if I was going to add filtration to it, or a Shark Pro. But as of right now, the filtration that's in it is working fine, and it provides the shovel nose with somewhere to hide because he hides underneath it, and it's adorable. So why is this saying my signal quality is poor? That's just fantastic. Maybe that's why there's only 106 people watching. Is it freezing for a bunch of people? Probably is. Okay. So, what are we talking about now? I thought the streaming issue was because I'm driving through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Yeah, I guess we're having problems in here tonight. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. I've been doing research, and the recommendation is daily up to 50% water change. Want to avoid meds now for fear of messing up beneficial bacteria. What's your recommendation for Popeye? I mean, the best medicine for fish is clean water. I was given that piece of advice in 2013 by Discus Hans, and it is, it's just one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard. So that is not bad advice. If you are willing to do the work, then, and you're wanting to avoid meds, what else you got? But I will tell you this, Vito, don't be afraid of 50% water changes. I've talked about this before. Jason and I talked about it on a podcast. Back in the day, you used to be afraid to do big water changes for fear of shocking the fish. We know better than that now. We know you can do 50% water changes every single day. Your fish are going to love it. So don't be afraid of that. Put in the work, and absolutely. I mean, I can't guarantee that it's going to fix the problem. Want to avoid meds? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me, especially with something like Popeye. I would be putting Maricin 2 in there. But we all do our own thing. I get it. If you got a medication that can fix the problem, Lisa has a sick kitten right now. The kitten needed oxygen. I could have just blown in the in the cat's nose, trying to avoid meds. Why? I understand oxygen is not a medication, but you know what I mean. Like, why avoid meds? But I'm not being disrespectful. If you don't like meds, fine. Don't do it. Impact on bacteria, exposing other fish. I get it. And I'm somebody that'll walk around with a pulled muscle in my abdomen for a week and not take Advil once. So who am I to judge? It's all better now, by the way. In the last live stream, I talked about it. I woke up with a pulled muscle in my abdomen. I think it was an oblique. So wasn't my 6-pack. That is so finely chiseled underneath 6 inches of blubber. I think it was the oblique. Oh man, that hurts so bad. But I never took medicine. Why? Because I'm stupid. That's why. Did I go overboard with the Eheim? No. Did I come across that way? I hope I didn't come across that way. What I was trying to say with my tank is my fish are still smaller. Like if I put all these fish in there, it wouldn't stand a chance. The filter that came with the Rio 450 that I have, no, that would not tolerate this kind of a load. But there's a very small load on mine. That's why it's worked out to have the filter that it has already. If you think about what's in that Jewel tank, it's like a massive Shark Pro is basically what's in there. And it's held up fine with the fish that I have. But again, as they get bigger, I'm going to have to add something to it. So you will never hear me say ramping up or upgrading to a canister filter is overkill. Unless you're somebody that's putting a FX6 on a 40 breeder. Wish I had your money. Don't be dumb, but that's not what you're doing. You got the 290. So that's like, that's 160 liters smaller than mine. I don't know how many gallons that is. I would have to Google it, and I'm not going to do that right now. More than half the size of mine. Yeah, you can never go wrong with a canister filter. I'll say it right to your face because I'm not scared of you. What's a great breeding project for a 10-gallon fish tank? I'm glad you stipulated fish tank as opposed to, again, it's 9:09 on a Friday night. Breaking balls is what I do. Whether you have balls or not, I still break them. Guppies, shrimp. That's it. Endlers, which people call them guppy endlers. I never did that. I understand they're related, but I never did that. I just always called them endlers. I think it's a cooler name anyway. Yeah, endlers, guppies, shrimp. Beautiful. There you go. Will it mess with the beneficial bacteria? It can. And so that I'm with you there. However, think about a fish's eyeballs. This delicate masterpiece. What's directly between the eyeballs of a fish? Right. The brain. So when you have the infection that is behind the eye, causing the eye to bulge out, what's that infection right next to? So I know you said it was a hap. Haps are expensive. If you said it was a guppy, I love guppies. But it's like, all right, well, kind of don't blame you. But a hap, it's probably a fish you've had for a long time. It's probably bigger. It's a fish that holds a lot of value to you. So why would you not medicate it? Isn't it worth the risk of the damage to your beneficial bacteria to save the fish? I understand Popeye isn't always a death sentence. Clean water certainly can fix it if it's caught early enough. But if it hasn't been caught early enough and it's really bad, I would be medicating. That's just what I would do. But, and I would give exactly 0 damns about damage to the beneficial bacteria because I'm trying to save the fish. You know what I'm saying? How's Penelope? Thank you so much for asking. Mountain lioness. I always want to call you that. I don't know why. It's just weird. Motionless, mountain lioness. Sounds good to me. Penelope has what appears to have finally turned the corner in a good way. Be honest with you, it was not looking good. She was in really, really rough shape. And that's one of the reasons why Lisa has had a bad couple of weeks, is because of that cat and her kittens, because one of the kittens is sick too. And it just happened yesterday on my watch. And that really bothers me. One of the kittens has fluid in his lungs. And I'm not making this up. I promise this happened. She took him to the vet today, fully expecting to not bring him home. He was in that bad a shape. These are 3-week-old kittens. They're little teeny things. Their eyes are still bulging out of their head. Adorable little things. She has had to start bottle feeding them because Penelope was so sick. So you got a sick cat that won't let you pet her, that is dying, and her kittens need to be nursed, but they really shouldn't be nursed, because if they continue nursing off of her, they're going to rob her from the only little bit of clinging on to life that she's doing. So Lisa took the kittens and became the mama to the kittens, and then took Penelope to the vet and got some antibiotics in her and everything. And she was still in rough shape for a couple of days. But Lisa sent me a video of her this morning finally eating, like eating, not just taking one little piece, but like eating. And it was glorious. Even though I've never touched the cat, cat doesn't like me, cat doesn't like Lisa, cat doesn't like anybody. I was still really glad to hear that she had turned the corner. But then the kitten today, Lisa took him to the vet last night, and the vet was like, this was an emergency vet. The vet said, you know, I wasn't there, but said in a very professional way, like, you know, this is bad. Probably a 50-50 chance that the kitten will make it through this. And you need to be able to treat him every 4 hours. And she's doing breathing treatments with the nebulizer and just really, really babying this kitten. But today he seemed to do the opposite of Penelope. He seemed to turn a corner the opposite direction. And it was very, very sad to see. And she was holding him and was like, he's suffering. Like, I have to take him to the vet. And so, you know, I mean, what am I going to say? No, don't you dare. And of course, go, whatever. But then he kind of snapped out of it a little bit, and he started picking his head up, and he started looking around, and he started looking a little better. And she's like, okay, I'm not going to rush over there now. Let's see what happens. And then, I don't know, maybe a half an hour later, she said, no, I'm going to take him. Not take him to get him put down. He's taking him to get the vet to look at him. And so this was tough for me because I didn't know what was going on. She'll usually, you know, text me updates and stuff like that. What's going on? I went and walked the dog. She had been gone for a bit. I went and walked the dog, and I came back, and I had this horrible feeling. Lisa was originally talking, she was going to go to CVS and then go to the post office and then come home. And then she changed her mind and she said, I'm going to take him to the vet. So she left, she's gone. I walk the dog. I get back to the house, and I'm thinking as I'm walking back to the house, I know exactly what's going to happen. I am going to, because I want to know what's going on, not because I'm some weird obsessed husband that monitors my wife's movements. I'm going to check Life 360 and I just know what I'm going to see. She's going to be at CVS, which means the doctor was like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. Put him down. And then she was like, well, I guess I can go to CVS now. And that's what I was fully expecting. And I was preparing myself for that. I don't do well with animal death. So I get the dog, I get Reacher, I put her back in the barn. I'm walking back to the house. Here she pulls up. And I'm like, oh, this is bad. She didn't text me. I never looked at Life 360. So I'm thinking, this is bad. This has to be bad. She gets out of the car looking completely fine. I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm still 50 feet away from her. I get up to her. She pulls him out she has him in a carrier. And she's like, yeah, the doctor didn't say he's going to be fine, but the doctor said he is full of vigor. He is not depleted of oxygen because he still has all of his color and everything. And in most situations that I have seen with these circumstances, if the owner of the cat does what you're doing, the kitten almost always pulls through. And so my emotions went from expecting this little kitten that I've only known for a couple of weeks is going to be gone to now should be fine. Of course, there's no guarantees. He's a kitten. He's, a kitten of a feral cat. But I was just like, whew. Then I go into my office and I believe I was actually setting up this stream. Then she goes to CVS. And while she's gone, I go out to check on him. Am I saying what his name is? Lisa, I don't think is in here, so I can't ask her permission. He's got a really funny name. I go out to check on him and he's just sitting up in the carrier looking at me like, what's up? Like everything's fine. He wasn't completely fine. He's still having breathing trouble and stuff like that. But it was so refreshing. Like, oh, this little guy. And so we have a lot of hope that he's going to be fine. We hope. These daggone cats are going to kill me. And I'm not even the one that rescues them. She is. Whew. They are working me over. Let me tell you. And that's, listen, nobody's asking fish questions, so I'm just going to tell it. I got a dog story too. And this is going to feel good to get this out. Because we had another scare. I sure do hope okay. I sure hope my daughter's not watching this. I did a model of my beagle, Roxy, for my daughter for her birthday, which is coming up in 2 weeks. And I painted the dog as good as I could to look like Roxy. And it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to do a video about it on the I Like to Paint Dolls channel. And a lot of times while I'm sitting there painting, well, not a lot of times because I've only done a couple, but I'll be processing in my head, what am I going to say on the voiceover in the video? And I'm sitting here processing all of these things. And I'm thinking to myself, the way I'm going to be telling the story about Roxy as I'm showing video footage of painting her, this is not for the KG Tropicals channel. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to put up a 3D printing video about painting my dog on KG Tropicals. This is for my other channel. I'm sitting here thinking of the way I'm going to do it. And I got to this place where I was like, I'm probably going to need to say in the video, have I been presenting this as if I'm doing this to memorialize this dog that passed away? Because I don't mean for it to sound like that. Roxy is very much with us. She is still kicking around. She's still doing her thing, heavily medicated, but she is still doing her thing. And I told Lisa about that, I might, this is what I might do in the video. And she was like, I don't think you should do that. And so anyway, that was just the thing. But then that night, I'm in the middle of painting Roxy. I come out of my office. Lisa had just gotten home. I came out to greet her, which is what I do. We're coming back in the house and Roxy does not look right. She's sitting in an awkward position. She's in a weird place that she's not used to being in. And she stands up and I'm like, I call her Wasi. I said, Wasi, what are you doing? And she just goes, bleh. And I'm laughing about it now because I can. Throws up everywhere. And then, and I forgot to mention, when Lisa and I were coming back into the house, we stepped over diarrhea. And it was like, well, that's not a cat diarrhea. That's a dog diarrhea. And there's Roxy in a weird spot. And she just vomited. And then she took a few more steps and vomited again. Took a few more steps and vomited again. Thankfully, we have wood floors. And it was like, oh, no. Put her outside. She finished. And then she couldn't. In my backyard, we have 3 steps that comes up to the door. That I have a fenced-in area where the dogs go out. There's 3 steps. She couldn't even walk back up the steps. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go down there, I pick her up. She's drooling out of her face. Bring her in. I put her on her bed and she literally just kind of collapses onto the bed and she's laying there breathing heavy. She's got stuff coming out of her mouth. Like, this dog is in bad shape. And what do you do? Like, it was like 7:00 at night. The vets, it was like right after 5, because I remember Lisa was like, the vets just closed. And I'm like, and I said to her, she can never deny that I said this. It is a fact. I said this to her. I said, well, we can't take her to an emergency vet. And Lisa said, why? And I said, because if we take her, we're not bringing her home. I don't know. That's just been my experience going to emergency vets. Like, they don't come home with you. So I'm like, let's just hang in there for a minute. Let's see what happens here. And we both stayed with her for a long time. This is a dog that has had 5 surgeries to remove tumors from her. She has tumors again. She can't have surgery again because she just wouldn't be able to handle it. She has Cushing's disease. She has medication for all of this. The dog is not in the best shape. She's 13 years old. And Lisa and I are like having that conversation. Like, Lisa and I are very, very different. I am the optimist in our relationship. I'm the it's going to be fine person. She's the one that's like, well, this is it. It's over. She's dying. She's going to die. Like, this is it. And that's the conversation that was happening that night. And it was brutal. I mean, it was the worst conversation. And there's nothing we can do. Like, this is just like, I can't just stroke her head and make her feel better. If I could, I would, but there's nothing we can do. We're completely hopeless here. The vet's closed. The vet that we trust is closed. What are we supposed to do? And the only thing we can do is let's keep an eye on her. Let's monitor things, and we'll see what happens. Well, let me just tell you, I am so relieved that we did not take her to the emergency vet that night. because I am convinced a 13-year-old beagle, which is a senior citizen for a beagle, that has had 5 cancer surgeries, all has tumors right now visible in her stomach, and Cushing's disease, they're giving her a shot. They're putting her down. That's what is happening if we take her to the vet. And I am so glad we didn't do it, because it was like 4 hours later, it was as if that dog was reborn. It was wild, because not only did she snap out of it, she snapped out of it and took like 3 steps forward. Because here's the thing. For like a month leading up to this, she wasn't able to jump up on the couch anymore. Roxy sleeps on the couch all day, and we let her do it because we do. And she wasn't even able to get up on the couch anymore. She has a dog bed down on the ground that, is only that high off the ground. She sleeps on that all day long. Guess what she's doing now? Just casually, like it's easy, jumping up onto the couch again. She's bouncing around like she's a puppy again. It's weird. It's like this. She had this episode that we thought she was on death's door, and then she rebounded, and it's like she is 5 years younger than she is. It's crazy. And I could not be more thrilled. With a dog her age, in the condition that she's in, who knows what tomorrow will bring. But for right now, she is in the best shape she's been in months. Bravo to Roxy. She is a badass. She is a fighter. And what can you say? I don't necessarily believe in miracles, but boy, that's close, because that dog was just reborn. It's weird. But anyway, tonight was a lot of fun. I need to check my email and see if I got that email from Diane yet. But that was her name, right? I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person. I never claimed to be a good person. Okay. So don't see it yet. But I sure hope I get it. Because wouldn't that be a shame to not email and then not get it? Roxy just had to cough it up like John Coffey. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. She must have, I don't know. She must have got into something, right? I mean, obviously, because that's unlike her to do that. But she was in bad shape. Like whatever it was that made her throw up and poop like that and not be able to walk up the stairs and whatever it was, it happened fast. And then, boop, she was all better. It's weird. And she loves the kittens. Yes, she does. There's Lisa. Now she comes in. Yeah, she sent me a video of Roxy trying to get into the box to play with the kittens. Like it is so refreshing to see that, because, like I said, we were having that conversation. Like, this is it. It's over. She put up a really good fight, but it's over. And I'm convinced that if we had taken her to the emergency vet, it would have been over. She would be in a box on our mantle right now. So I'm glad we didn't. But if I'm being real, in the time frame, the way things happened, it was there and then it was gone so fast that she probably would have snapped out of it on the way to the vet, because the vet's like an hour away. So it would probably have been like, all right, let's turn around and go back home. She's fine. At least I hope that's what it would be. I don't know. We didn't go though. So thankfully we didn't. You did miss the giveaway, Michelle. Sorry. There were so many people talking before the stream about the notifications thing. I don't know. Notifications for YouTube have always been weird. I get notifications for channels I have no interest in, but the channels that I am interested in, I get no notifications for. It's really weird. You need to 3D Alice Cooper for Ozzy. Alice Cooper would be fun. I'd probably do Randy Rhoads before I would do Alice Cooper, just because I like Alice Cooper, but not like I liked Ozzy. If you haven't, I know you watched the video, Kev, because you commented on it. When I said I was a fan of Ozzy since Diary of a Madman, that was 1981. I was in first grade. I've been a fan of that man ever since. For the first, 10 years or so, it was in secret. Couldn't let my mom know. But I've been a fan of him forever. Alice Cooper, he was fun on Wayne's World. He's got quite a few songs that I like, but again, not like Ozzy. Oh man, I mean, I'd probably do Kiss before I would do Alice Cooper. If I was going to pick another musician, Alice Cooper is a good one because he has a very distinct look. I mean, who has a more distinct look than Kiss? If I did, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say now. But, I mean, Alice Cooper would be fun. But see, the thing is, Kev, in order for me to do it, somebody has to have made that model. And I've never seen an Alice Cooper model. But then again, I also have never looked for one. So, might be out there. I can look real quick and see. It don't take no time at all. You done did it now. You got me started. You're like, okay, John's trying to get off, so let's bring up 3D printing, and then he'll stay. Oh, well, wouldn't you know it? There definitely is. There definitely is an Alice Cooper model. Yep. There you go. How about that? Have a look at that, would you? That's a pretty good one, too. That's a pretty damn good one. That's pretty good. I typically, this is just a weird thing for me. The name on it, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know why. I feel like even though I've done a lot of models that have name tags on it, The Flash, stuff like that, I feel like if the model's good enough, it shouldn't need the name. There was one for Ozzy. I just didn't print it. I didn't do it on there because my brother-in-law is a Baptist minister, and he would be able to walk into my office and go, "Oh, Ozzy Osbourne, huh?" I mean, he's not a fan, but he would be like, he would know who that is. I don't need there to be a nameplate on it for him to know that that's Ozzy Osbourne. And he wouldn't need me to tell him that's Alice Cooper either. Everybody would know that. So I don't know. Some of them I've done have it. Okay, there's Diana. Good. I'm glad. There's your email. I just got done doing John McClane. That sounded weird. I did a model of John McClane, and there is a nameplate on the bottom that says Die Hard. It doesn't say John McClane, but it says Die Hard. And I didn't like it. I didn't want it on there. But if I didn't put it on there, there would be a big hole where it's supposed to go, and that would have looked weird. So I included it on there. And it's pretty cool because it says Die Hard and it's actually his New York City badge. So that's neat. But it shouldn't have to be on there. I'm trying to remember, like, I did one of Bucky Barnes. It does not say Bucky Barnes. It does say Captain America the Winter Soldier, though. So there's that. But anyway, I don't know. If I can get away with doing a model and not including the nameplate, I'll do that every time because it just shouldn't be necessary. If you don't know who it is, well, then that's not my problem. I'm not making them for you. I'm making them for me. And if I was making a model for somebody else, I'm not going to make it unless they're going to know who it is. Like, that would be weird. So, you know, I'm not going to make an Alice Cooper model for somebody that's never expressed any interest in Alice Cooper whatsoever. Like, I'm not going to make an Alice Cooper model for my brother-in-law. That'd be kind of stupid. If I was, I would probably have to put the nameplate on there. Now, he would know who that is. But anyway, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm weird like that. I don't like the nameplates. I don't think they should have to be on there. But, and that will be the next video on the I Like to Paint Dolls channel, by the way, is the John McClane. I'm particularly proud of it. Best Christmas movie, I do not disagree, although Home Alone's a pretty daggone good one. So I would probably, you know, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. The Christmas message is it happened on Christmas Eve and you had to kill all the terrorists so that they didn't kill all of us because Santa's coming. That was the message of the movie. So it is a Christmas movie. But I think Home Alone's a better Christmas movie than Die Hard. Die Hard's one of my favorite movies of all time. But come on, Home Alone. Forget about it. You should totally do a model. Oh, here we go. The horse standing up. How many times are you going to say the same thing? Think you can just get away with it like that? I'm so immature tonight. Uh-oh. What did you do? I'm the immature one here. Thank you very much. Try to steal my thunder. Anyway, y'all. My throat is wrecked. There's 99 people in here, which means nobody wants to hear about 3D printing stuff. Ash Williams from Evil Dead. I think I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. One of the Patreons that I follow is doing a special. 3 models for $20. And you get to choose from like 100 different models. One of them's Home Alone, which is really cool. And that sale actually ends Sunday. So I need to make my decisions. It is Kevin, Marv, and Harry, which is awesome. But also in there is 2 different Evil Dead's models, which I love that. I don't think I would do it though, only because, well, there's just so many others to choose from. Like there's Predator with Arnold standing underneath him, which is awesome. There's Lethal Weapon. There's Bloodsport. Like there's so many that I would probably have to choose before Ash versus Evil Dead. But I like that movie a lot though. Did you happen to see Fred Durst and MGK collab Fix Your Face? No, but I'm going to tell you something. And I'm really embarrassed by it. Really embarrassed. And I don't know why it happened, but it did. Jason and I did an episode of the Tank Talk podcast, very highly requested episode, which is our top 5 favorite bands. Fred Durst was not on my favorite bands list. Don't get me wrong. Or don't misunderstand me. However, Stained is. Spoiler alert. Stained's one of my favorite bands of all time. Aaron Lewis, a hero to me. And I told the story during the podcast of the way Aaron Lewis wrote the song. It's been a while. No, it's not. It's been a while. It's, which one is it? He wrote it on stage. Why am I drawing a blank? I'm stupid. This is why I misspoke the way I did. It was Outside. He wrote Outside on stage with Fred Durst live in a concert. There's videos about it straight out of Aaron Lewis's mouth. He tells the story. He didn't have the song done yet, but Fred liked it because he heard him playing it backstage. And Fred was like, if you play that on stage, I'll come out there and sing it with you. And Aaron Lewis said, well, I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to do a song with Fred Durst, so I'll just make it up as I go. And that's exactly what he did. That's him telling the story, not me. I told that story during the Tank Talk podcast to Jason. He had not heard that story before. This is the embarrassing part. I guess I had the singer from Counting Crows in my brain at the time because I told the story as Fred Durst. Why would I do that? What? Why would I do that? How could I be so stupid? That's like saying, yeah, when Ozzy left Black Sabbath and Robbie Jermaine Doro took over for him, like, how do you get that wrong? Everybody knows Fred Durst. Like, but why the word Durst came out of my head, I do not understand. I'll be 52 in like 3 weeks. That's probably why. That's probably why that happened. I'm not the biggest Limp Bizkit fan in the world. I am a huge Fred Durst fan, though. I think that guy's awesome. I always have liked him. And I think what I've always liked about him is that so many people dislike him. It makes me like him. It's how I am. He did discover Stained. He absolutely did. He asked them to come on that tour with him. And Aaron Lewis looked at Fred Durst as a hero. And that's why he could not turn him down when he said, if you play that song on stage, I'll come out and sing it with you. And so he had to make it up as it's a really cool story. But for some reason, his last name went from Durst to Durts. So stupid. I also told my Ian MacKaye story, which I've told on this live stream also. Ian MacKaye is a guy I grew up idolizing. Singer from Fugazi, Minor Threat, awesome guy in the punk rock scene, particularly in the DC area. I sat right next to him at a skateboarding show, and the song Bad Mouth came on over the speakers. And I did not know I was sitting next to Ian MacKaye. I knew who Ian MacKaye was, but I didn't know he was sitting next to me. And he said, I like that song. And I look over at him because I too was a Fugazi fan. I looked over to him and I said, I froze because this whole time I've been sitting next to Ian MacKaye. I didn't even know it. I told that story, but I said the song was Bad Day. I don't know what my problem was during that episode. Bad Day? That's not a Fugazi song. What are you thinking, Hudson? Bad Day is a great Fuel song. That's not a Fugazi song. It's Bad Mouth. What are you, an idiot? Ask me what my favorite Fugazi song is. It's Bad Mouth because of that whole thing that happened. Why would I say that? I'm going to have to edit that. I'm going to have to edit both of those things in the podcast because I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate two blunders like that in one episode. Kev, I thought you and I were possibly friends. I don't know that we could be. You don't know who Fred Durst is. I think you're just trolling, though. Brad Pitt before he was super famous, too. What are we talking about with Brad Pitt? It's weird one, but 12 Monkeys takes place over the Christmas season, too. Another Bruce Willis movie. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up right now while we're talking. Because there's another bucket list model that I'd like to do. Of course they have it. Because why wouldn't they? It looks kind of stupid, though. So I don't think I'll do that. Let me show you. I don't think I'll be doing that one. I mean, one of the best movie characters ever, but that's a terrible sculpt. It doesn't even look like him. And that looks more like Benicio del Toro than it does Brad Pitt. Yeah, that's really bad. And to think they can get $40 for that, you have lost your damn mind. That is not a $40 model. That's a $40 model of Benicio del Toro from that movie. Not Tyler Durden from Fight Club. No way. That's really bad. I'm sorry. I don't like being mean to artists, but that's not a good one. That's not a good render of the old Tyler Durden. For the longest time, my name on all video games was Tyler Durden. I love that character so much. And that's the only one. That's the only one that is out there. So, well, no, there's this one, but this one's pretty terrible too. Like, all of a sudden, Brad Pitt's jaw became twice the size. I mean, they got the abs right. You know, geez, almost feel like I'd be making a self-portrait there. But that head sculpt is terrible. I'm sorry. I mean, what do you want me to lie to you about it? I'm not going to lie to you about it. That's terrible. Maybe it would look good with paint on it, but it looks better than the other one. But one last thing I wanted to say, whoever it was that asked me about Ash versus Evil Dead, I would want to do a Shaun of the Dead first. And I've already looked that one up. And I have not found one yet. But I would do a Shaun of the Dead before I would do Ash. Ash vs. Evil Dead, great movie. But I just saw Bullet Train last weekend. Really enjoyed that movie. Very, very good movie. I enjoyed that one too. I decided to do something last week. I don't even know why. There is one movie and one movie only ever in my 52 years that I've ever walked out on because it was just dumb. And that movie was Interview with a Vampire. But I decided the other day, I'm going to give it another try. No, I was right all along. That movie's terrible. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. The movie does not do it for me. Brad Pitt, Christian Slater, Antonio Banderas, Tom Cruise. What's the girl that became MJ? I forget her name. What a star-studded cast. But I'm sorry. Not for me. It's just not my thing. And I'm a big fan of everybody that I just mentioned. But like Antonio Banderas from Desperado, are you kidding me? Get out of here. That movie's great. I didn't like him in Interview with a Vampire. I'd buy my hero Wonder Woman. We share a first name. I've done a Wonder Woman model. Linda Carter. And I have another one that is, I have downloaded. That is the Kingdom Come Wonder Woman. I've got the Superman Kingdom Come, because of course. Shazam. All the 4 main characters from Kingdom Come. Superman, Shazam, Batman, and Wonder Woman. I have all of those. I'm going to do all 4 of them at some point. And again, didn't mean for that to sound weird. What about Negan? I would do Negan if they made it comic book Negan, not the one from the show. Even though I like that actor a lot, I like comic Negan better because he was worse. Jason did not like that character, by the way. We talked about that. Will you quick look up David Bowie? Sure. It's another one. Never really got it. Never really got the whole David Bowie thing. But I understand I am in the minority there. Others, quite a few, which I'm not surprised by. Let me see if I can find a good one here. So there's this one. I don't know what that's from. Let's see. Makeup of Aladdin Sane album cover. All right, sure. Whatever. Let's see. This bust. I'm not really into busts, but that looks good. That looks real good, actually. That looks a lot like him. Yeah, they did a good job on that one. Although he's a little, I feel like he was a little thinner. No, that looks good. That's a good one. They did a good job there. I'm not interested in that one. What is this? This looks more like David than it. What in the, that, what? When did David Bowie have hair like that? Yeah, I don't know. Weird. So there you go. David Bowie. I don't do commissions, so don't ask me. Plus, I'm not good enough to do commissions. So, and if I was going to do a commission, it would not be David Bowie. But I'm not interested in doing commissions because I don't have the confidence to do that. I've walked out of 2 movies in my life and both had Nicolas Cage in them. Wicker Man and Ghost. How do you, what? I didn't want to waste the hour and a half of my life. Now, I have a problem with that because I think, well, Wicker Man, that's fine. I don't disagree there. But his Johnny Blaze, I thought was good. I liked Ghost Rider. You just have to watch that movie with the understanding that it's a comic book movie. It's not Man of Steel, even though that's a comic book movie too, you know, but it's not serious like that. It's Ghost Rider. It's silly. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't, I disagree with you on that one. I liked Ghost Rider a lot. So shame on you. That's all I have to say about that. Shame on you. Kirsten Dunst. Thank you. Yeah, that one, that name escaped me. That was one of the cute things because she was like 10 in that movie and she was adorable. And then she turned into a horrible vampire, but spoiler alert, but that's kind of the point of the whole movie. But I didn't like that movie at all. I liked it until Antonio Banderas showed up, and then it was way too over the top for me. I was just like, nope, this is really dumb. I'm not interested anymore. Can we please leave? And we did. And I know I'm in the minority there because a lot of people like that movie, but I'm not one of them. I like everything Tom Cruise has ever done except for that. and Eyes Wide Shut. I thought that was pretty stupid too, but I'm a Stanley Kubrick hater, so it's fine. Can you look up if they have a model of my pops, John Daly? All right. I bet you they do. Especially if you spell it right. Does he spell it the same way you do? I don't know if he does. I thought he spelled it. I'm going to spell it like that. Oh, we got a lot of John Deeres. John Wick. I thought he spelled it just D-A-L-Y. Nope. Apparently they don't have one. John Wayne, John Kennedy, John Paul, John Lennon, John McClane. That's not the one I did, by the way. John Koenig. I don't know who that is. Koenig? Is that the guy from whatever? That one, you know what I mean? John Cena. Elton John. There's lots of Johns. No John Daly, though. Sorry about that. Oh, speaking of John Coffey, are you kidding me? It's like fate. Wow, look at that. We were just having a chat about him. And I'm sorry, once again, that looks nothing like him. Not at all. What was his name? Michael Clark Duncan? I'm sorry. Nope. That doesn't work. That doesn't look... Okay, maybe a little bit from the front there. But not that angle. That doesn't look like him at all. I don't know. A lot of these look very different when you get paint on them. So, anyway, folks, listen, it's 10 o'clock. My throat is wrecked. It is time for me to get out of here. Congratulations, Diane. It's going to be very difficult for me to part with this special masterpiece. But you are going to receive this next week by way of either UPS or FedEx. And the sticks will be included and all. Everything will be in there. And I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to be sad because I didn't make one for myself. I made one for you and one for a rack. The next fish... I think I'm going to do the Geo. I think I'm going to do the Geo Alta France. I think. I wonder who's going to be the recipient of that one. We'll have to see. I've already put it into the AI 3D modeling software, and it did an okay job, but not great. So I might give it another try. Try it out with a couple other pictures. To see if it comes out with a little better render of it. Or I might do a beta, maybe a guppy, or maybe a pleco, or a cory cat, or I don't know, a goldfish. There's so many that I could do. Got to do a biker at some point. I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it a lot. And it helps me get this hobby paid for me. It's one of the beautiful things about being a YouTuber. Hey, I don't have a resin printer. I just spent all my money on building a fish room. You think you might want to send me one for free and I'll do a video about it? Sure, no problem. We'll send you a $700 filter. Printer? Sure. That's a beautiful thing. I'm not going to lie. So now I got to work on getting an airbrush. It's the only thing I don't have yet. I mean, I have one, but I don't have a good one. I got a crappy one. But I do think unless y'all come up with something different, maybe I should do a poll. What fish should I do next? And all 12 people that vote on it, they'll have a say in what it is that I do. Beta, please. Flower horn. Ha, I see what you did there, Whips World. So here's the thing with betas. I love the idea. It was one of the first ideas. Like, got to do a beta. I just haven't found that sculpt yet. I have not been able to put a photo of a beta into the AI software to get it to make a 3D render of it. It hasn't worked. And I think it's because the fins are so wacky and wild. There is a few betas that have been done already. But they just don't grab me. They don't grab me. I would want to do like a placat. I would want to do like a Hellboy or a Nemo. But Lisa's like, you got to do one with the big flowy fins. And so I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, life-size CBD. Yeah, I'll do a CBD that big. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Actual life-size, perfect. That'll be fun to paint. Just put blob of paint on it. Angelfish would be good. An angel, I would have the same issue that I'm going to have to work out with the Altifrons. It's those dangly, flowy things on the Altifrons. That's going to be a challenge to not break those. And angels would have the same thing, but they hang down. So I don't know. Yeah, it's when you do koi, Oscars, and arowanas that all have very short, stubby fins, it's so much easier. The big flowy fins that have these super long, extended, that's tough. Because resin and filament too, doesn't matter which one you use, very, very fragile for the, like, I'm not kidding you. This fish is made out of resin. I'm not going to do it, Diane. Don't worry. But I promise you, I could take my finger and flick that tail right off. I mean, like that. Yeah, it's very brittle. So having long dangly things or dangly things hanging down from the angel, that would be tough. Pufferfish, that's a super adorable idea. I don't hate that idea at all. But, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say right now. I'm really tired. It's been a really long couple of weeks. And it's not even been a long couple of weeks for me. I'm not the one that has to get up every 4 hours like we have a newborn child to take care of this kitty. But Lisa's been doing that. And I just have to say, I admire that woman for what she's done. I love animals as much as anybody. I don't think anybody loves animals more than me. I don't know that I could do what she has had to go through. It's too mentally just gut-wrenching. But she's been completely successful with it so far. And I really hope it stayed that way. Have you tried the Bubbles logo? No. It's probably, I don't know. Because it's hard. Whip, when you think about the elf that you sent me, even though that was a 2-dimensional photo, it still had a lot of texture to it that the AI could grab onto that texture and pull out the breasts and make the ears pointy. And it had all of the references for that because of the shadows and the texture and all of that of the 2-dimensional photo. The Bubbles drawing is a drawing, and it's just an outlined drawing, and it's great. But to take that and make something 3-dimensional out of it, I don't think the AI would even know what to do. I think the AI would be like, what is this? And what are we supposed to do with it? I don't know. But I'll give it a try maybe someday if I don't forget, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, y'all, I've been saying it for half an hour now. I got to get out of here. I got to go walk the dog, and I got to do all of that stuff. So thank you for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. Congratulations, Diane. Or is it Diana? And like I said, I saw your email come through. I haven't read it yet, but I will get this shipped out next week, and it'll be on its way to you. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Lisa should be back next time. Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be 2 weeks? I don't know. We'll just bye.